Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Touken Rambles podcast. I am your host, Marissa, and I am here today with everyone from the Touken Rambles crew. I'm here with Jesse.
Hey!
Lexi is here again with us.
Hello.
Sarah is being one with the crickets in nature in the car.
Hi, everyone.
And Sarah is with us as well, but she is kind of suffering from a bit of an allergy cold thing, so
Hello.
be patient with some of us. And you guys have gotten sick. Allergies are not fun, and they are in full swing because we are at the end of September and kind of moving into the beginning of October now.
Some of us are already in October.
Yes, some of us are already in October as the recording of this podcast. Thank you, Jesse. All of our monthly achievement things have been reset for every single game. So, woohoo!
Woo!
But just a reminder for those of you who are listening for the first time or for the multiple time, Touken Rambles podcast is a monthly podcast dedicated to giving you all the news and reviews about everything in Touken Ranbu, from the game to the live action and the anime series as well. So let's just start once again. We'll start with recent updates within the game. At the beginning of the month, we kind of started, once again, we got another Village of Treasures. Everyone's favorite event to do. Oh boy. We finally finished out, well, besides Kotiki, finished out the OG wakizashis with their background music with Honebami, Monoyoshi, and Namazuo. And speaking of Kotegiri, he was once again the big old reward sword at 100,000 beads. Why do they do this to us? Why?
Because they hate us.
Because they're actually status.
Pretty much. I like when it's only 80,000 beads instead of 100,000. So get everyone's opinions about this event. I know many of us had already either received Kotegiri through previous Village of Treasures. I think that's only me and Sarah Duncan, and I know Sarah Yang used her seals the last time we had the seal exchange corner, not this previous time, but the first, got Kotegiri. So how was it, Jesse and or Lexi, if you want to start on your tried to get Kotegiri this time? I know Jesse was trying.
What's an idol boy?
Oh no.
What is a VOT?
It did not go well. I was very frustrated. I was exhausted and didn't have time to give the attention that was due. And so I ended the event at 60,000?
Oh, so close.
So close, and yet so very, very far. Yeah, he didn't come home. And now I am contemplating sending out boys early on Kiwame so they can come back low enough level to tackle the lower levels to grind for Idol Boy. Instead of the 7-3 painful grind.
Smarter. Because I've found that OP Kiwame can't do very lower levels even when they're by themselves. They hit the max level cap. Just level 30 something. And you're like, great.
Yep. So I may send out a couple boys shortly, but I haven't decided what.
What about you, Lexi? I know you said, what is a VOT? I'm guessing.
I guess VOT and we're taking a a break, a very long break. It seems like Yachties and Naginatas really love to just kind of flip over and give me something called a 4-card curse, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I am lucky if I make it to 10,000 beads anytime I play VOT. What are instruments? I heard they're mystical beings that cause really nice noises. I don't get those either. I don't like VOT. It hurts my soul.
I feel that. I couldn't actually, uh, as most of you know, I am one of those crazy people that will spend way too much Koban trying to get a sword very early on within like week 1. I actually couldn't this time because I tried. I tried doing what I could, and then after Labor Day, I went to New York for about a week, right smack dab in the middle of the event. So I didn't actually get that much time. I didn't even do my 6 daily passes because I was just having way too much fun in New York that I didn't want to, because I'm sorry, VOT, you take way too long to run. So there was Jesse, you beat me in bead count by the end of it. So
Actually, I lied. I found my screenshot.
oh,
I
no.
was off.
Oh.
Yeah, I was really off. I made it to
What was it?
45,000.
All I know is I did get an oogly dupe, and that's about all I really remember.
I
So
got a decent amount of instruments though.
that is good. that was a growl from Sarah. For those of you who couldn't hear. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess none of us got Kotigiri, unless maybe Sarah Duncan magically got a Kotigiri this event.
No.
Didn't you get less beads than I did?
I was there for 2 things. I was there for paper and for instruments. I only got one of those. So I didn't get boy.
Seems that many of us here on Touken Rambles just didn't. We were just done with VOT at this point. It is the 9th one. I think any of us are just done with it. Bring back Regiment.
I wasn't done with it.
You weren't, but
I was just passing out at 7 p.m.
Oof. Ouch. Well, it was the beginning of school. Why they timed that around the beginning of the school, I don't know. But Sarah Yang, did you try to get him again, or were you just like, nah, I've already got him. I'm just gonna casually play this right now.
I was kind of like, well, I already have you, so there's no point in even trying the event because, like, 1, no time, and then 2, like, a lot of energy, and then 3, I was just like, why do that? I could just stare at you on my, Honmaru, so we're good. I didn't have to shed tears.
So there was no duplicate Kotigiris for any of us. So speaking of duplicates, finally, Ranbu levels was implemented. I'm not going to go over the details again. I went over them last month. They are not as complicated as you think. They are similar to refining your swords, but it unlocks fancy new voice lines for certain things. Or if you get to level 4, it's level 4. You get Kampeito. Woohoo! I am stockpiling it for the Shizuka who doesn't exist.
Mood.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was
y'all.
a wonderful, wonderful thing when when it finally got implemented, because I had been holding on to so many swords when they did the update and gave us the nice 30 sword expansion, to the point where I only had about 4 extra sword space for refining. Poor Mamba. And oh boy, I now have a lot of sword space to deal with. And still at max any swords out. Because nope. I've just been kind of chilling this month because I've been on vacation way too often to run things or try to smith things. What is Shizuka again? I don't know. I'll keep repeating this. He is an enigma, and Pierre is a jerk. Uh, so, what was everyone's takes on finally actually getting to experience Ranbu levels? Because we only kind of knew the basics of Ranbu levels from what they gave us. My mind has been changed. I enjoy Ranbu levels for now. Until the struggle.
For now.
For like Koga and Mika and Odenta. And who's actually going to max out Chiyo-Pio, because heck, no one is. Oh goodness. So
Yeah.
my opinion has changed. You're welcome, Jesse.
Yay! I'm still excited. What was I saying? My boys are. I'm just over here still caught on the fact that I'm sorry for both you and Sarah, because my Shizuka is over here chilling on Rambu level 2. And he's happy and waiting for his turn to be further leveled up. But yeah, the Rambu levels are really cool. I'm really enjoying seeing my babies get higher and that bar filling up, because I like smithing. I have no real need to at the moment, but I like seeing who I'll get next. And I am trying to save something so that when Koga finally hits Toku, which will be soon, because I'm sorry, baby, I'm trying. But when he finally hits Toku, I'll throw all of the things at him, and then I can spend more time just Rambu with the others. But it's really interesting. I'm really excited to see the different lines that do get unlocked, and beyond the Konbeito from there.
Because we will be getting more. They have confirmed it. Level 5 is not the max level that we will get, but is currently the max level.
Dun dun dun.
Sarah has a sword that is quite high in Rambu levels.
I wonder who that would be. Totally not Shishio over there.
Actually, this time, so far, I have many that they are shooting up there right now. Soza's already level 4. Skinky Leg is enjoying himself at level 3. And so is Burb. So Tomogata Naginata loves me right now. I can't get his brother. No, I can get the other stripper, but I can't get his brother. So I'm just here.
Sarah, I feel you on a deep personal level. I'm actually surprised at how slow going it is trying to get Tontos up. It takes a lot more, and I've almost, I think, max leveled Kiza or Hige because they drop so often on now, and you can smith them. So, oh god.
Yeah. So many that like we struggled so hard to get before. Now just like, hi, you remember me, right? It's just like, I don't ever want to see you again. Please stop, with love. Go back, go to the field duty, please. Just stop.
Lexi or Sarah, what do you guys think? Have you actually had Rambu leveled anyone a little bit?
I got kind of scared doing it, so I'm gonna need some help.
We will help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it for my contribution to this conversation.
All right.
So, I have a. It's a little something I like to call, where is Monoyoshi? To which I was in smithing hell for Wakizashi, and I still have no Monoyoshi. If we're going to talk about Ranbu levels, my highest one is either Bommy, Nikari, or Pinky Dinky Doo, because I don't know why I had so many Sozas, but they were just kind of like staring at me like, hey,
He's just coming to say
pretty
hi.
neat.
He loves
Yeah.
you.
He really does. I think he's actually my highest. I think he's like level 3 or level 4.
He's a good
I
boy.
I had a lot of Sozas. Ooh, but Nagasone is pretty high up there too. I'm just gonna plug that in there. I love how much Nagasone just decides to like randomly show up. It's great. It makes me feel so happy, but also so hurt. I love you. Please don't stop coming home. But I'm still mad at you, and I'm low key better. Rambu level. I don't know why the same 3 kids all the time, but as long as they're happy coming home.
That's a move.
It is. Well, I feel like we should probably, even though I said I wasn't going to, I feel like maybe I should just go over Ranbu levels a little bit more, and if you guys want to fill in if I've missed anything, because Ranbu levels still is fairly new, and it is confusing. And Sarah's right; it's a little scary because you could accidentally do something. Um, so Ranbu levels, the easiest way to explain it is it's in the refining tab. So where you go to put your like max your sword stats out, there's another little tab that's to the right of it that says Ranbu on it. For those of you who don't speak Japanese, it is right there.
I think it says Shugo.
Does it say Shugo? I think it actually does. Yeah,
It's Shugo.
it is Shugo.
It's a Rambu level, but it's Shugo to do it.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse, for correcting my inability to kanji.
Sorry.
Hey. I can't kanji, trust me. But so to Rambu level your swords up, it's actually really easy to get them to level 2. All you need to do is have 1 duplicate of a sword. So we're gonna use what?
I said, woo!
Woo! So we're gonna use what sword should we use as an example? Let's use good old Yagen, because he's right here staring at me. That's
S
it right now.
boy.
And for Sarah. So we'll use Yagen as an example, because Yagen I think currently is one of my highest. He's about level 4 right now. Because Tontos drop fairly frequently on many maps, and also you can smith them very easily by just using a bunch of 50 on. So he drops a lot, and so you're gonna hit the little blue button like you would with refining, and when you hit the other blue button to add swords in like you would to refine, it will only give you the duplicates that you've collected with swords. But it will not show up swords that you have locked in refining. So make sure, well, now all the first swords lock. I was about to say, make sure you lock your swords when you get them, because you'll turn up like me and lose your Urashima that you got within week 2. I'm never letting myself down.
Hashtag triggered.
Hashtag triggered. He got fed to the Horikawa, and so did Anikari. But I got Nika back really quickly. So you will just feed them duplicate swords. So you kind of have to, especially if you're a new Saniwa to the game, you kind of have to decide, hey, do I want to increase my sword's Rambu level and unlock these new voice lines, or do I want to use the swords to help increase their stats a little bit more? Because it's going to do, you either pick one or the other. So as someone who has been playing the game for a really long time, and I'm probably not the only one in this corner, many other senior Saniwa would also probably agree, max your stats out first before you Rambu level, because it really does help you with the game. Rambu levels is it's just a fun little extra additional added on bonus. So if you max your sword stats out, you'll eventually get to a point where all of your swords are maxed out, and you just keep getting duplicates of swords that you're just going to refine down and get little bits of resources, like maybe 1 of coal and 1 of everything else. So at that point, I would start Rambu leveling your swords up. And of course, you're really only going to Rambu level your main highest level version of that sword. So of course, I'm only going to be giving my Kiwame Yagen regular Yagen. And yes, you can throw regular swords at Kiwame, and it doesn't really matter. It will take more Yagen to level him up than it will for, say, Mikazuki. Everyone, you just need 1 to level up to level 2, then after that, it increases every so slightly. So the rarer the sword, the less duplicates you need to level up, which is really nice, but it's going to be a big pain for swords like Mikazuki, Odenta, Kogura Sumaru, and of course the event swords like Nyan Nyan and Chiyo-Pio over there, who are only going to show up every so often. So I think that explains Ranbu levels a little bit more. They do not affect the stats of your swords. They just unlock new voice lines that are kind of hidden, and only you'll be able to get them once you level them up. And DMM and Nitro have mentioned that their level 5 is the current max in the game. It will go past level 5 at some point, but not right now. So make sure you try and level up your swords as quickly as you can. Probably won't be for a really, really, really long time before we get another one, because it took them a while to implement this Rambu level. So hopefully I explained that well enough. Does that help you, Sarah?
Yes, now I am less scared.
Good.
Thank you.
And
No problem.
if you haven't seen the tutorial that Konosuke walks you through on there,
Mhm.
don't just remember that your first sword, which is the one that you generally have been putting all of your effort into, maybe you've Kiwame them already, will be locked. And if they're not, go ahead and just go through your main thing under formation. I think that's what it's called.
Yes.
And just make sure that the little orange lock is locked. Because you don't want to accidentally refine a level 1 regular sword with a Kiwame level 5 of that same sword like Konosuke does. So,
Whoopsies.
yes, just know that should not be a possibility for you.
That poor Imono. He lived such a great life.
Rip.
And he's gone.
Kiwa made it all.
Also, a nice thing when you do go in, I will say the Shugoi tab is a little confusing, because it will put higher level Rambu level swords up. So after you've refined the Rambu level, they'll get shoved to the first page. But you're like, wait a minute, they were on page 3 before. Don't worry. They'll just alternate occasionally, depending on their level.
You can also choose how they're sorted
Yes.
on that page. If you want it by Rambu levels, if you want it by regular levels, or if you want it in the order that you got them, showing what you just got most recently first. So you can see, oh, this is the sword I need to go find further back, because this is the sword they actually have to Rambu.
Best thing to
It's
do.
a very helpful function.
What I like to do is I try to keep it on their max level, and then I sort by sword type. Or I just, like Jesse said, go to show what you have previously, so you can go back and forth. So it makes it a little easier. So I'll start with my Tonto, and then I'll like slide to the last page, because most likely the last page has a ton of brand new little swords, and then I'll look, and then I'll go and select my my actual sword that I want to refine. So small little hints and tips about it. Because unfortunately, Rambu levels came out at around the same time when I got a Mamba, and Kiwame Mamba is still not max stats, because Ranbu levels are coming first right now. It's gonna sit on the sideline. It's the only one. So, and then once I'm done with certain ones, he'll start getting higher again. I was hoping to do so before Ranbu levels, but that didn't happen. I think it's only like a couple of things that he is not maxed out. But he is fine, and he's still loved.
Such a good boy.
All right. I think that's it for Ranbu levels. It is still a confusing and weird thing. I know the Touken Ranbu wiki is still updating everything because not all of the swords are going to have voice lines unlocked yet, especially things like Chio and Hyuga, because they've only been in one event. There's only one. You pretty much only have one version of them if you got them from events. So those will be not filled out for a while, and I know they probably have a much more comprehensive guide than my rambling on about how to Ranbu level with pictures. Yay! Pictures help. Pictures help a lot. So the kind of back onto things that have happened this month. If you didn't, the Seal Exchange Corner ended right at around the beginning of the month. So, dun dun dun. If you didn't get anything from it, I wasted mine on a duplicate tombo, as I have mentioned before and griped about. There was no Shizuka. Hiss, boo. No, thank you. So I got me a duplicate tombo, and no, it wasn't tombo. I got a tombo from running 7-1, and I was like, ayo, I use Nihongo. Nihongo is a little hard. I don't like 6-4. It's mean. Yeah. I know. I think that ended. I think it ended around the end of August, if I'm correct, right?
The Seal Exchange period ended early to mid-September.
Okay, that was it.
Because the Seal getting period, collection period, ended middle, late August.
Mm-hmm.
And then they gave you a couple weeks to decide, okay, what do I want to do with them?
Yeah, it disappeared the 18th of this month. Oh, September.
Hooray for exact dates.
Why
I'm a
does that
history
feel
major,
so long
and I don't
ago?
like exact dates. But, so, hopefully you guys used all of your seals up that you did get. Oh. Before it went away, because you can't use them now. And they won't roll over to next time, so. Womp, 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 womp. And I know, I think today, as of recording, believe today, no. Is it today or is it in a couple of weeks? The Sunflower event. Is it ending?
It ends in October.
Later in October.
I
The
think
16th.
it's not.
It ends on the 16th.
There we go. Thank you, Lexi. So
I
make
only
sure
know because I don't have it yet.
you've got this. We believe in you.
Got this. Didn't
still
you say
have-
you only needed a fish?
All I need is fishies.
Send them on
Expeditions.
Yes, expeditions. That's how I got like 28. No, how many fish do I have now? I have way too many fish. Because there's one expedition I just keep sending my swords on every single time. 87 fish. Would you like some?
I like
87.
there was a good period of time where I just didn't try. I had enough sunflowers and I always sent my kids to do chores. And it was like, okay guys, that's super cool and fun. But like, what am I missing? There's something that I'm clearly missing in this whole entire operation. Does someone want to tell me what it is? And they're like, oh yeah, hey bro, you need to do a thing. It's super cool, super easy. It's cool. You're supposed to send your kid on expeditions, you idiot. Why didn't you do it before? And I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. I have 19 fishies.
Got this. If you
I
send
have
them
3.
on expeditions, or even if you go to maps that you might have the max level over, you can still get the fishes from the maps. So no worries on that. So you can go back down to like, I think era 1 or 2 has fish. believe.
Fish or bunnies? Fish or bunnies?
Fish.
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 But bunnies ends before fish.
Oh no.
Bunny ends in like just over 24 hours.
And
Exactly.
you only need to run the map once to get the fish that you need. So I would do the fish first, and then try to run bunnies.
Yeah.
You won't waste your energy going on lower level maps.
Right.
You'll just kind of breeze through them. So no
Meanwhile,
worries.
you run one bunny level, and we'll get there later.
Yes. Might as well speak about the bunnies.
Here, that's actually a
Yay!
pretty good segue. So, Bun.
Oh god, the bunny event. You know how we made mention that VOT was a whole bag of fun? Well, welcome to the delicious dongo chasing rabbit village. Number 2, my least favorite event that I found horridly pointless, adorable. I love the background. But boy howdy did it take way too long because this event, every single time you run it, is going to reduce your, will increase your fatigue by way too much more than a normal map does. And it's not fun. But when you get that lovely dongo, I forget how because I didn't run the event this time because I had the background from last time.
You chase the stupid bunny around the map and pray you hit the thingy sometimes when the bunny doesn't show up.
Thank you. You hit the bunny.
You're trying to find the boss node.
Essentially trying to find the boss node on this randomly generated map every single time. But you can use the dongo to help reduce the fatigue of your swords, and you have to feed them
50.
50. I thought it was 50. 50 dongo.
You don't have to feed them the dongo, actually. It's just
You just need to collect them. Yeah. You just need to collect 50 dongo. But it's nice if you feed them because it helps reduce the fatigue.
Nice.
It's like the Kinako bread.
It turns your sword from the red to Sakura Fubuki.
It's nice.
It's beautiful. Like, that's with just one. So it's very handy, but you only get one. It's just one dongo that you get, so you have to use it one per sword. So if you have 6 severely fatigued swords and only 3 dongo, you're out of luck. You got to change up your team, or just let them all rest, and that works too.
If your team is way too OP, you can run it anyway, which is what I did because I had way too OP of Kiwame Tanto, and I just ran the darn event and powered through and gave them the dongo when it was time. But how is, because I know myself, Sarah Duncan and Jesse, we all have the background, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
All right. How are our other 2 faring in this event?
So not a surprise. I have a whopping 1 out of 50 dongo. Ran that map once. I think got a dongo I didn't even notice, and I was like, cool. I don't know how to play the event, and I'm kind of busy because of school. And I put the event on pause, and lo and behold, it ends in like 24 hours. I'm like, okay, it's gonna come back again. Maybe next year. We'll see about that.
No worries for those of you who don't get it. It's a background, so it's fun. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's a aesthetic thing, but it's not a new sword or paper or resources or toilet paper.
You get resources. You
do?
miss the, because if you miss the boss node, you hit a resource.
Yeah, you do get
node.
resources.
That's the only reason I've been on this entire event anytime is because grinding for resources because of smithing hell. That is eternal. But that's the only reason I've touched this event. So yeah, resources
I'm just
are fun.
running 7-1. I'm just running 7-1 over here.
God, too many KDC.
Oh. I guess I just power through with my OP Kiwame thing. But
Master Sword is Master Sword.
Master Sword is Master Sword. I put way too much love into those 6 swords. But I'm gonna hand it off to Jesse really quickly when it comes to. Well, I want you to tell your wonderful strategy, which actually, because you were last year when this event came
last year
around,
it worked
you were
really
ahead
well.
of me in Dongo. You actually got the background before I did because I kept struggle busing with it because I hated the event. But you had a lovely little strategy to get through the event, and also kind of give us a bit more on the culture to maybe hopefully we will like the event more like the Setsubun one.
Okay,
Both of them are a little deaf.
Yeah, so first of all, with my strategy, it worked really well last year, and this year not at all.
Oh,
So
no. Never
that's
mind.
fun.
Rip.
It's a random number generator, so it's not much you can do with anyway. But sometimes, like last year, and like with Shizuka and with Yoshi, it likes me occasionally. So last year, what I did was I would hit the boss node, and then I would work in a anti-clockwise, counterclockwise. That's the word. In a counterclockwise rotation, and somehow it worked, and I kept hitting the bunny. And it was really great. And because when you would find the bunny with the boss, you'd get 3 of the dongo. As opposed to if you hit the boss, you just get 2. Which, I mean, you still get 2. So, yeah, somehow I ended up passing you in the dongo collection race last year. Not so much this year. It just, I've got like 22, but I don't need them because
I have 0.
I have the background, so I don't really need it. But my boys are appreciating the levels anyway. So, because I'm trying to level up my lower levels who aren't Kebishi safe. And I don't exactly have a lot of help tokens to constantly toss at repairs. So I'm very appreciative of this event and very much looking forward to them. But culture-wise, this event is really great. So you get these hitokuchi dango, or these little 1-bite rice cake things that are a very common snack here, especially tsukimi dango. Tsukimi, if you know anything about hanami, is the same concept. You're looking at the moon for the fall because the fall moon is The fall moon is beautiful. And in a lot of Asian cultures, the harvest moon especially, there's a lot of moon festivals. And this is one of the ways that they show it in its historical contexts in the game. There are events to where you actually go out and you can go to the famous gardens, temples. There's a bridge in Kyoto known for its prime viewing spot for just the moon viewing. And it's really interesting. And the reason you're chasing the bunny, in Japan, when you look at the moon and you see the craters and you see the shapes that it makes, they don't see a man in the moon. They see a bunny making dongo. So that's really interesting. And there's a whole traditional folktale. And should I tell the folktale?
If you want to. I also found that it comes from, I think it originally comes from China and then goes into Japan because of the jade rabbit. And
as with most things,
yeah, most things come
it
from
came
China.
from mainland China.
And then Japan took it and
Asian
adapted
cultures, Japan adapted it as their own. But the bunny and the moon. So there were once 3 animals. I forget the other 2, but the important one's the bunny at this point.
I think one was a fox.
A fox.
I think they were meat eaters.
Were they?
I think so.
I don't remember.
But either way, there's 2 other animals. I can't remember which ones they were.
And they were visited by an old man, and bear with me because I don't have any notes on this and I wasn't exactly prepared, but I've got it in my head. So an old man came and visited them, and he was traveling and weary and hungry, and he said, "Hey, can you help me find some food? I'm starving and haven't eaten in days." And so the two went off and they were like, "Oh, we have some food. We can share a little bit." So they brought maybe a couple pieces of fruit, something to offer, just something small to contribute. And the elderly man accepted it thankfully, and the bunny really wanted to help him and really wanted to find something, but he couldn't find anything. He didn't have anything to offer. So he looks at the man and he says, "I don't have anything, but if you'll have it, you can have me. Take me and eat me." And
He throws himself into a fire.
yeah, he basically preps himself to go onto a fire. And the elderly man scooped him up and said, Your selflessness and your selflessness is really moving. Thank you very much. And he takes him, and the two vanish into the moon together. And so that's why there's a bunny.
Because surprise, he was a god.
Yeah.
So for those of you who might know a little bit more about Chinese culture a little bit, this is the story of the Jade Rabbit. So that's where we get the face of the bunny on. And there's a whole, as we know with Mika and a lot of other cultural references, the moon is very, as Jesse mentioned before, the moon is very important in Asian cultures, especially in Japanese as well.
Can I interject for a quick
Yes.
second? That's why they also serve moon cake time of year. It's a specific, like, savory cake that you eat during this time of year. And if you go into Asian markets or global markets, they sell this during this time of year, and only during this time of year that they'll have moon cakes. So it's a very sacred tradition for a lot of the Asian cultures.
All right. Yay for culture time. We don't talk too much about culture. A little bit, but not as much going into depth. It's nice to learn a little bit more about the basis behind these events, especially this one in Setsubun, and I'm hoping we get more cultural events. Sure.
Yes, please. They make my heart so happy.
Because we're getting we have historical events like the Osaka Castle one and the
And
Edo
one coming up that I'm really excited to see what they
Yes.
do with.
I'll mention that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for most of the newer updates and removals of certain campaigns. Is there anything else that we haven't mentioned about the game that you guys have accomplished this month? I'm just gonna say I was a bit of a massive slacker this month. As I mentioned before, I was in New York for a week. I had to work Labor Day weekend. Crazy. It was our last day for our dinosaur event, exhibit, so we were slammed. And then I was also at Anime Week in Atlanta for about almost a week. I had to leave early, and then I came back a little bit later. So yeah, Touken Ranbu has taken a little bit of a side thing to my brain for this past month. Thankfully, no new events or anything to make me cry because of just busyness. So my sword's just been kind of chilling and worried about my mental health because I've clearly become the neat Saniwa that is in Hanamaru that they never see. But I'm terrible and I don't send them out and do anything. So whoops.
Okay, I'm sure they're having a blast doing their own things at the Citadel.
Probably. So anything new with you guys?
I sent Soza out for Kiwame. And then he
Good
sat by the
one.
wayside while I did Rambo levels for a bit.
Oh no. So
But
he's like
a
my
good
mama.
boy. Nah, he's pretty max at the moment.
Okay.
I went back and Sarah made.
I wonder why. I have done nothing. I'll go ahead and throw that out. I am running expeditions. And I am forcing Jesse to hit my Smith button for me. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
It seems like most of us have just taken a very chill September.
Very true. I think
Game wise.
I just got the daily bonuses where you can get the Kiwami set at the end, and that's all I really cared about. And I was just like, okay, peace out, Touken number.
Well, all right. So, speaking of upcoming events, we are yay! I'm probably gonna start getting back into it starting tomorrow.
Oh,
Is there-
Melissa?
Yes.
I think Lexi didn't say what she did for her
Oh,
month and Touken.
Lexi, what did you do, my dear?
Well, I've been trying to fix my level gap. It's been pretty fun. I know off the top of my head that I got Nagasa, Fudo, the Toku, and there was another one that I wrote down in place. Who it is? They're still in. I got Mori yesterday when I was out at
Oh
dinner.
yes.
I got a kids menu, and I think he knew that I got the kids menu, and he's like, "Oh, understand." I'm like, "Oh, that's thanks. I've been waiting for you to come home too. Like, not in Tonto, Helen." So that was struggle bunnies. Also mean I can use this to try and level up my level to higher level. So that's what I've been doing. Hakata is, and he's in. That's about it.
Well, I'm happy you finally got the salad child. I remember you posting that in the group, and I was like, "Yay! He is come." 'Cause he didn't want to
He
come
knew
home
you
from
got a
US.
kids menu. He knew you got a kids menu and he needed to come help make sure that you got everything you needed. He's the
But I still
babysitter
never
of
got
the
my
tacos.
sticks.
You still never got your cheese sticks.
With
Oh,
love, you don't need them.
I
Bad.
didn't trust all the fish. I wanted the cheese sticks and the chicken tender.
And dairy products love you, don't they, dear?
Didn't get the lemonade either.
Dang. All right. My apologies for skipping over you, Lexi. So, shall we now move on? I think we shall.
Yeah.
But speaking of Mori, oh goody, Mori's event is back because it used to be the other Tonto's, Toshino Tonto's event, and now it has become the Search for Salad. Good lord. Underground Treasure Test. We're getting it again. Yay! One of my favorite non-pass events because the level gap is not death unless it goes below level 50, and then I actually start to sob a little bit. But we will get another underground treasure chest event. So the Ichini digging hell for his brother's event. So those of you who are struggling to get those other Tonto that have been placed into the maps and into smithing, here is your chance to do so again. You're actually not that hard to get. Hakata is gearing up. He is investing in his stock, and he is ready to be sent out. He is a good boy. Totally not losing my voice. This is what happens when you work customer service. You start to lose your voice a bit. And it seems like once the current background series for the Sunflower has ended, it seems like we're going to be getting another one, but it's going to be a winter one. So look out for that one. I wonder what the items are going to be. Seems like this might be kind of a possible continuous event in a way. I don't know why we skipped over fall. We did. So we might see more of these type of events showing up because it seems like it's going to be just a series. So we will know more in the next year or so if this does continue. These do continue to happen throughout. So it might just be like another aspect of the game that's going to be kind of a bit of a permanent thing, or it's just, hey, here's a summer background and now here's a winter one, and you get nothing for the rest of the year. So, and of course, a brand new event we're actually supposed to get in September. I'm happy we didn't. We were supposed to get in September around Village of Treasures, but it got pushed back for unknown reasons, which is going to be the investigation mission Jurakute. So, and we got a teaser for it, and it looks like there's an evil Mamba. I am
I'm
confused.
so curious and excited.
So, not only are we getting a new event, we are getting a new sword. So this is not Mamba.
Well,
For those of
it's
you. It's a new sword.
it's not a new. Is it a
I
new
think it-
sword? Because I don't think it's a new sword. It
They
didn't
did
say new sword because they
well-
normally just show the silhouette.
This is true, but I think, don't quote me completely, but because we kept getting stuff pushed back because I think they are making sure that this event and the next eventual sword come in after Ranbu levels, and I think that's why it got pushed back, was because they weren't completely done with the updates and some of the bugs with Ranbu levels, so they had to push it back a little bit more. So I think if I recall, they said way back when it was supposed to be in September, that the new event was going to start a new sword. But I think the new sword was, I don't know, might be a new sword. Maybe Evil Mamba? New sword? Question mark? What do you guys think?
Dun dun dun. I think it'll be interesting either way, because I do vaguely remember when they were talking about there being a new sword release with the event. So it'll be interesting to see if they follow through with that or not. I'm kind of hopeful and kind of terrified of that fact, but we shall see.
Anyone else have any comments about the new event that we're probably going to get? Hope it's a pass event. Hope it's a not pass event.
I was trying to see if I could find the tweet
Of Evil Mamba.
the evil Mamba.
At least if it's a
Yeah.
pass event, we'll have plenty of Koban after UTC. UTC, wow. I give up.
UTC.
Yep.
That real Mochi, man. UTC.
Leave me alone. I live in weird language, dead language hell, okay? I don't
Yeah.
have to speak things often.
Yeah, there's no word about that one being a
Yeah.
new sword, but it looks like an Osafune blade stole Mamba's cape after Mamba went on Q1.
Oh my goodness. I love that new headcanon. It's Koyu in Surprise. Dun dun dun. You changed capes.
Yes.
You would too.
But
See
the
Koyu.
name of it threw me off because I was like, what on earth is a Jurok Day?
Would
but-
you like to explain, Jesse, what a Jurak Day is?
Sure, because I was really excited when I decided to actually Google it instead of just relying on my dictionary, which was giving me nothing except the meanings of the individual kanji, because put together they don't any. Juraku means gray wall covering. So I was like, why is he wearing a gray wall covering?
Because poor Mama's cloak is that dirty by now.
Yeah, no, but that's not what it is. And then I thought it might be like another musical instrument collecting thing, because Ju means to gather, Raku is music, but then Jurokute is just there.
Wah.
Yeah, but then, so Google, thank you Google, and then thank you Wikipedia, and various other sources, because a Jurokute is actually a palace that Toyotomi Hideyoshi built in the late 1500s. And at the time, he was living in Osaka Castle, and then when it was complete, he moved to the Jurokute, which is in modern-day Kyoto, except a descendant of his messed up, and when he either died or was just removed from the throne leadership position, they dismantled the Jurokute, but then reassembled it in pieces throughout the city. So part of it is still there today, just in different places. So I'm very excited to see what we'll find out about the Jurokute in the game, and if it'll have anything to do with the Toyotomi swords.
That sounds really cool. So that'll be nice if that's true.
All right, so thank you, Jesse, for that wonderful little more culture. Yay! So Lexi had to bow out midway through this for some little sicky reasons. So we wish her better. Feels better. Covered Evil Mamba, covered the new event. So that's pretty much, I believe, everything for the game for this month, since most of us took it very, very casually, it seems like.
Yeah, it's been a pretty chill, low-key month for the game-wise.
Yep. All right, so we'll start moving into more of the real life stuff. And I'm going to make real quick mention before I hand it off to Jesse in a little bit. We're going to make mention that the Namazuo Toshiro Nindroid is now up for pre-order on Good Smiles website. So if you want to bring home your good little Zuo Zups, the catfish child, you can bring him home. He is a catfish.
He is.
He is a catfish. Also, we may mention last time of the 1-to-1 scale short figure of Mikazuki that is actually for raffle in lottery right now. I don't know much more information other than the fact that it's a thing. So
yeah, that's about all there is, unless you were into getting it way beforehand. There's not really much information to be found, at least from just the Twitters and everything.
I think they've made a 1-to-1 replica of him every single day and every single year, and have auctioned him off.
Building an army of Mikazuki figures.
I swear he existed last year when they were announcing. Oh gosh, I forget which event it was that we got a ton of figure drops this.
It was some sort of like convention where they were showing all the scale figures. Yeah. I remember that.
It was like Smile Fest, a Good Smile Fest thing.
Good Smile Fest.
That happened last year too, and
they had the big Mika there. It's the same type of Mika, but it's a different Mika, different than last year's. Because last year's got auctioned off and someone owns him, and now someone's gonna own another one. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing this, but if you're that much of a Mika stan, then go get a lottery ticket for it if you can.
I'm just imagining someone with this Mikazuki just sitting somewhere in their house, and you walk into a random room and there's just Mika.
Yeah.
Like, hi,
Megan.
Megan.
She's been outed.
She has.
She's been out.
She has been outed.
She has been outed, but we love her. Also, there's some Toastate. What is this, Jesse? That you put on merchandise? Fake nails.
Every now and then, the Touken Ranbu goods just go a little to the what side of the merch?
Like the Mika Mochi bag.
Like the Mika Mochi bag. Like, I don't know, just random things that you don't really expect to see anime goods for. But you know what every Touken Ranbu fan needs, especially fans of the stage play, is fake nails with your favorite swords faces. So
Their
you just
faces?
stare at your fingers and you say, "Oh, hi, Mamba." Look at your thumb. "Oh, Chi-Chi." Because that's such a need, apparently.
I mean,
May the Touken Ranbu fandom never end.
I'd wear them. I won't lie, I would. Except I probably wouldn't pay that price for them.
Sarah just has a bunch of sews on her finger.
Hi.
They actually didn't have any of those. It was just the Hiden crew.
Okay.
So you can just stare at pain all day. That's fine.
She's not wrong.
We're not going to talk about pain.
How would you choose? How would you choose? Because they'd give you an option. I think there were 12 on there. There should have only been 10.
Well, yeah. There were
So
12.
how would you choose? Like, I want to wear these today, but I don't know because I can't split these two up. It's just decisions.
Could leave out Mika.
Oh,
Ouch. Calling you out, Megan.
Anyway,
Look you.
with love. With love.
I
we
could
should
not
move
find
on.
my unmute button for that one, but look you.
But yeah, there's a lot of really interesting goods out there too. Like if you're in Japan, pre-orders ended last week for glasses. For I think 6 different swords. I missed the
I
opportunity.
think Sarah knows a
I'm
little bit
very
more about that.
bitter.
oh, are we talking
The-
about glasses?
Yes, the glasses.
Okay, so for the glasses, it's really interesting because they've done glasses collaborations before, so they're having 8 new swords get glasses this time. So I'm reading right now that each set of frames features patterning inside and out of reminiscent of its respective character, and comes with a glasses case that fastens with a leather strap. So good quality stuff, you guys. So the swords that are going to be getting glasses this time is Tsurumaru Kuninaga, Kashu Kiyomitsu, Yamato no Kami Yasudara, Hyuga Masamune, Heshikiri Hasebe, Mitsukami Yoshiyuki, Hotaru Maru, and Dodanuki Masakuni. So these are the swords that are going to be getting these new sets of glasses. So keep a watch out on them, you guys.
They're
Oh,
really cute.
and I just checked the price, and it's 9,900 yen each. Good luck.
So that's about $100. A little less than, but with tax.
Yeah, that's about right for glasses frames.
And they're really pretty.
Yes, they are. I would actually buy them. I'm trying to
They're
remember
gorgeous. I was gonna get the Yasusato ones,
Aw,
but I didn't have my prescription, which was a different. Like they have 4 different numbers for your prescription in Japan,
oh gosh.
and I don't have those 4 numbers. And then I didn't have time to go to the clinic to get my eyes checked, so that didn't happen. But then you also could have pre-ordered them just as the accessory glasses, which I also considered doing, but by the time I remembered to go and pre-order them, it was too late. So
could you not just get the frames and then
yeah,
get like
Could've.
your actual lenses in when you get back to the States?
yeah, I could have,
Okay.
but the pre-order is over. So we'll see.
well-
If they should be released in March, and if
Okay.
you can buy them then we'll see.
All right. So for those of you who missed the pre-order, keep your eyes out in March for when they actually get released. So pre-ordering things in Japan is a lot easier and nicer because, hey, you cut the line and you don't have to wait and struggle to actually find it, especially for really popular things. Because I have a feeling there's going to be some Dotanuki ones that no one wants, which is kind of sad. Poor Danu. Much love for Danu.
Much love for a good boy.
But I think that's about it for merchandise. So I'm going to hand it over to Jesse, and I'm going to let you cover the last bit when it comes to all of the news we have for live action and give us a little bit more on the Swords of Kyoto exhibit that just started.
Woo! Okay, so live action stuff has been a fun waiting period at the moment. We got some really nice visuals for the Shinken Ranbusai 2018. Pretty. We have all of our happy boys, except not be there. All of the actors are getting really excited for it. We also
Goodness, are
have
they?
yeah, they really are. Mokun is trying to figure out who he will tag along with next. I think we're very excited to see how certain characters interact with others, because we have Burb and Puppy who will be joining the crew, and a kitten who was absent last year who didn't get to meet several of the new swords.
It's just going to be
Any
magical.
thoughts on that?
Magic. Wonderful. I'm sorry. I'm just super excited for this right now, especially seeing like Imari and Haru-chan and all of them. Like when the promo poster came out, they were all just flooding their social media with "finally." So they are such good boys.
One thing I'm really hoping to see is Haru-chan out over Spee's inability to move his hip.
Oh goodness.
Because like that makes, because Haru-chan and Miura are both professional dancers, so they're both like, I want to guarantee they're probably going to team up at some point to do something to poor Spee.
Hey guys,
and it's going to be adorable.
For those of us who don't remember or know the names, Haru-chan is who exactly?
Sorry, Haru-chan is Tomoegata Naginata.
There
He is
we go. I could guess because I know you guys. And I could vaguely remember his name. But
Forgive me, I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. I know when I did my panel on AWA about the Touken history, a lot of people, when I made mention of the stage and the musical, were like, wait, those exist? And I tried getting some of them into it. So I know we want to mention a lot of characters' names, but for simplicity's sake, let's use character names in games. So makes it a little easier for those being brand new to, if they're trying to get into it, they know who we're talking about a little bit more. Even though I know some names like Tsubasa. Yay!
I love you.
Yes, you're welcome. But just for simplicity's sake, because I don't even know everyone's names. That's why I leave this stuff up to you guys.
To revise what I just said, or to restate it rather, it'll be really interesting to see Tomoegata Naginata and Higekiri try and wrestle Tombokiri into actually making his hips move, because boy cannot dance. He's a he does a great job on stage. He's a great Tombokiri. I do love him, and I respect Spee as a person and an actor, and he just can't dance. Tombo's actor can't dance, but he's working on it, and I'm sure there's bound to have been some improvement in the past year.
Another interesting thing is going to be the fact that they'll now have two people who at least professionally speak English.
Yes.
So that's going to be fun. And you have a lot of personal relations between all the actors as well. So it's like, because certain ones are best friends with each other in real life. So it's like, oh,
I know Spee does, but who's the second? Is it?
It's
Tomoe's. So okay, that's what I thought. Also, another person that's actually fairly it's French. Was I'm trying to remember the historical figure's name in Musubi.
Oh, Fujitore. the guy.
This mustache man. There we go.
Mustache man. It's not Enoshita.
That's what you've been calling him, I thought. So I just call that's okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Enoshita.
I think it's something
Enoshita.
Like
yeah.
Enoshita, not Enoshita. It's Enoshita.
It's
so
not Enoshita. Enoshita. Okay, yeah.
Whatever. His French was surprisingly good, and I think it's in English a handful of times in the musical. So He'll be there too,
Yeah.
because yay for all the historical figures pretty much making a reappearance once again in Chicken Rumpus.
Otaku.
I don't know if have they confirmed Kondo?
They haven't confirmed any of the historical figures just yet. So I don't
They're
think.
being brutal. I have
I
not
don't
seen the
think. I may need
notification,
to
but I
check- I'll
can dig.
double check that. I'll double check that for October because we
Yep.
have time before.
Oh yeah, this will be performed. Usually it's the end of December.
Yeah,
It's usually around
it's
Year's.
it's through the month of December.
Yep.
Maybe the last week of November into December, but the performances are actually less in number, but they're scattered around more. But yeah. So also started this month Kashu Kiyomitsu's solo performance 2018. He has officially begun his touring. Unfortunately, one of his 6 backup dancers had to step down from 2 performances due to health issues, and I really hope he's doing okay. I know Ryuji Kashu is really close to all 6 of those guys, so I really hope he's doing all right. There hasn't been any news on him for the Kyoto performances coming up this next weekend, so I'm hoping that he's doing all right. But it looks like he's having fun, and I know several of them have already gone to go see him, several of the other musical actors. Torigoe, who is Yasusada, so Yasusada, Nagasone, and was it Kane-san that went with them? I think it was the 3 of them that went together.
I feel like it was probably Kane-san's actor.
Quite probably. But the 3 of them went, and it was opening weekend, and Torigoe Yasusada shook the pen light so hard, he found the limit and actually broke his pen light. Like, the light stopped working because he was waving it so hard. And my heart dies because the children are just precious human beings. But they all wish him best of luck. Also, in the musical side, we finally got the singles released for Tomyu 4, Musubi no Hibiki 5, my bad. 5. Musubi no Hibiki Hajimari no Ne, and I can never remember how to read the kanji for the song, but it's War Cry. And all of the singles, of course, have special songs from the lives, and the full album will be available November 14th. You can also stream the singles on Spotify. It's beautiful. Support the official release whenever you can, even if it means just streaming it through sources like Spotify. Also available for streaming, the paid streaming, is Toasei 4, yes, Hiden Yui no Me no Hototo Gisu. And there are 2 versions of that online. For any of you wondering, apparently there is a difference somewhere in the second version. We'll be watching and reviewing them sometime in the nearish future. But 12 beautiful boys ready to break your heart all over again.
In ways you never thought imaginable.
Yeah, just be prepared. For both Musubi and Hiden, you will need more than 1 box of tissues. So,
Indeed, when even the actors tell you that. They were not lying.
Yes. And then we had at the beginning of the month.
Oh my gosh.
Something that we all forgot was coming, or it just hit us by surprise, was the Touken Ranbu night game collaboration with the Tokyo Giants, which is a baseball team. Because swinging a sword and swinging a baseball bat is the same thing, I guess.
I'm surprised we actually don't have a baseball themed Touken character because of how impactful baseball is to Japanese culture, and it's pretty much their sport. That's their favorite, one of their favorite sports to watch. and to do.
To be
Besides,
fair, baseball didn't exactly come into Japan until after the Sword era ended.
I know, but like,
So
Kotegiri, for some odd reason, is a big Idol fan, and so is Midare. So I don't know. Having a sword that maybe likes baseball for reasons?
I feel
I
like that
don't
would be Mutsu.
Probably.
It would be.
But so in this wonderful collaboration, we have a unit that was not a musical unit. It was most of a musical unit with the surprise Kane-san.
The poor random Kane-san.
We had Mikazuki Munechika, Iwatoshi, Ima no Tsurugi, Higekiri, Hizamaru, and Kane-san. With opponent Kogitsune Maru doing the radio program afterwards. And everyone but Kogitsune Maru went out on the field, and I imagine they sang the main Touken Ranbu song. And they danced it. There were definitely pictures and clips of that. And Mikazuki was the one with the honor of throwing the first pitch in the game. And it was just quite shocking because, one, to throw a baseball, you don't wear gloves. So he had to take off his glove.
Oh, goodness.
Throw it. So that was just odd in general. And then while they were doing the pitch, they had to wear cleats. Makes sense, but at the same time, you've got these grand outfits with cleats. And it just overall, there are some wonderful pictures on Twitter and news all over there. I tried to retweet some of them. Go check out our Twitter and you can find more from the regular Tomu page as well. But they ended up receiving a special glove that says musical Touken Ranbu, and I think they all signed it. They enjoyed getting pictures with the mascot for the Giants, and now every time I'm in class and a student pulls out a folder with the Giants on it, or I see a muffler towel, I die a little bit inside, trying not to show it externally, because what is life?
Soft baked hawk's better.
Currently, it's a toss-up between the Giants and the Carps. The Hiroshima Carp and the Tokyo Giants are the main team that I see.
Well,
so
I lived in Fukuoka for a month, and I almost went to a game for free.
Almost went to a game.
Almost! They didn't have free tickets that year for... So, small sidetrack. When I studied abroad, the international programs, I talked to them about it, and they're like, oh, hey, last year we were able to give free tickets to students, and there was like 1 week where we actually took everyone to a game, and it was really cool. Problem, this year they made it to like the nationals. So they made it to like the big leagues, and they were doing really well. They made it to like the big final against one of the other teams. So it was kind of like their World Series in Japan. And so they're like, yeah, we couldn't get free tickets because they didn't have free tickets because they were doing too good. So I couldn't go to a game. But I went to their museum. So my team
that works then.
Because I lived there for a while. It's a nice stadium.
Yeah.
But
I'm closer to Hiroshima, so most people around me are Carp fans. And there's a fun side story for that I will not tell here because rabbit trails.
Yep.
We're not in the bunny hunt at the moment. So, moving on into our final little segment on special exhibitions, we had that massive Swords of Kyoto exhibit finally open up just on Fridays, was the first official day that it started. And so if you're in Japan, planning to come to Japan before December, trying to figure out what to do if you want to see your swords, go to the Kyoto History Museum, where they have over 20 swords for Touken, and then like an absurd amount of other swords as well, just that deserve your attention and your appreciation, and various other things happening in Kyoto for the Touken Ranbu collaboration. just why not make it a citywide thing, right? Saturday on the 30th of September, the 3rd, the 29th. That was what that day was. Konosuke, the Oki Konosuke mascot for Touken Ranbu, ended up doing a photo shoot, come take a picture with Konosuke and hug him and everything. And they also did that with the mascot for the Kyoto History Museum and the Toei Eigamura mascot. So, because of that, it's been 2 years since the last collaboration at the Kyoto Museum, and the last time that Konosuke made a friend with Torarin, his museum mascot. They held a picture handshake event and enjoyed hanging out with each other throughout the day, which you can see pictures of that on Twitter too. I know I retweeted at least one of them. Konosuke also went to Arashiyama in Kyoto to see the special Rondon train and collaboration specials on that side of the city. There are various restaurants, photo opportunities as well. Lastly, Konosuke went to the Toei Eigamura, the movie village, the final collaboration destination. He showed off the features of the exhibit there, which include a life-size walkthrough of Touken Ranbu game features, like choosing a starter sword, smithing a sword, being dispatched to the field, and playing a game that's like skee ball, like you see in American arcades. It looks really cute. And if you have the time and resources, all of these will be going on for a couple of months and are very deserving of your love. There's been so much that went into all of these. The swords for the exhibits do change the end of October. Some of them will stay, some of them will be switched out for other token swords. Like right now, So's is on display, but in November, Ishikirimaru will come out instead. As an example. There are several others that are changing out too.
Of course, you mentioned two of Sarah's favorites.
Yeah.
But Jessie, when are you going to see the exhibit?
I will be going to Kyoto. I'm very excited. I will be going to the exhibit either on Saturday the 20th or Sunday the 21st. It depends on what I'm able to work out, scheduling with some of my friends who are in Kyoto that I haven't seen ages that I need to meet up with. But I will be going. Heaven help me, I will be going to that exhibit. If I don't make it, I will cry and sob, and you will know, you will all know. You'll all know regardless, because I'll be dying from happiness that I actually went. So, whether it's a happy death or a death of despair, stay tuned.
Yep, and you'll hear probably a pretty detailed and in-depth version of her experiences there next month's podcast.
Oh, definitely.
Around that time. All right. I believe that is everything when it comes to all of the token news that we have going on. Is there anything else that we might have missed that you guys heard of throughout this month? We will close it all out.
I think that's about it.
Yep. So we're going to give you a little bit of updates when it comes to the podcast itself, because for those of you who remember, we did a handful of reviews kind of early on in the spring on the on Joden stage and on the Sumonodomo musical. Because of the summer, we had to take a bit of a hiatus when it came to reviewing, because we are hoping, want to try getting everyone here for the reviews as much as we can, real life permitting. So we will be reviewing Mississippi this month, and you will be getting a review about 2 weeks or so out from the release of this episode. So you're going to get about midway through the month. And then hoping, no fingers crossed yet, no T's dotted or T's crossed or I's dotted. Gosh, my brain. Hiden will be next. I don't know if it's going to be in November. maybe November. November is a little bit of a weird month here in the States because we have Thanksgiving at the end of it, and many of us, uh, for those 2 of us are in school, so it's kind of around the end of the year, so exams will happen, all the lovely stuff, so life starts to get a bit busy. Uh, and then December might be hard because of Christmas, but we will see. Keenan will hopefully get it out soon and not at a later date because we'll have a massive backlog. Also, good news, we are going to be re-adding in the Behind the Blade section of the podcast for those of you who've been kind of since the beginning or in the first couple of months of the release of this podcast. At the end, I would cover one sword and kind of go over the history. This segment will be coming back. We took it out because of time constraints and mainly because of the fact that the Hanamaru reviews were taking up a lot of our time because we cover a full month of the anime. So that was about 3 to 4 episodes per month. That was a lot of content to cover. So Sarah Yang will actually be taking this over. So wish her luck when it comes to learning a lot of the sword histories. I'll be learning
Yay!
right alongside her.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah. So I believe that is everything for this month for you guys and for us. So if you want to know more about Touken Rambles podcast, you can find us on our social media. We are mostly active. Jessie is really good at keeping active on the Twitter with retweeting a lot of the posts and translating as best as she can in a timely fashion. A handful of stuff that's going on with the game and mostly the stage and musical actors. So if you want to know a little bit more about what's going on with them, follow us there. We also have a Discord. If you go to discord.me/tokenrambles, you can find us on there. We're still a little small community, so if you want to come talk to us here, learn a little bit more about us, or talk more about the game throughout the month, please join us and also follow us on Facebook. And you can listen to this podcast on Podbean, Google Play Store, iTunes, and anywhere else that you do a podcast. And we do upload on YouTube as well for those of you who prefer YouTube subscription. So obviously it takes a little bit longer for the YouTube video to go up because of exporting, and it takes me a little longer to do that. All right. So that is it for the month of September. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Touken Rambles podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
いざ出陣さ